This week, J. Cole gets tons of backlash for his new song. And Ari Lennox is leaving social media. Let's talk about it.
The STEM Society.
What's going on, socialites? It's your boy Cole Jackson back with another episode of the STEM Society. Episode 64, it's live. So this week, I'm going to talk about two albums that dropped, and I want to get into the J. Cole situation, the backlash he's getting. And I also want to talk about Ari Lennox leaving social media and how this is affecting all these other artists. Social media is crazy. Let's go ahead and get into the show.
New releases.
All right, I got two albums I want to talk about. Let's get into my favorite one that dropped this weekend. BigXthaPlug dropped his new album called Take Care, 15 tracks, 31 minutes long. I got to tell you, man, and I read this on social media, and I have to agree. BigXthaPlug don't miss, man. He just don't miss. I love his album. It's a very short listen. It's very to the point. The fact that it's got a lot of motivational stuff with Wallow on there. Like, Wallow's got these motivational speeches in between some of his songs, which I like because Wallow, he been on this run. You know, Wallow just dropped a new book. But having Wallow do those motivational speeches between some of these songs, I think that was genius. On top of being able to get a little bit more story from who BigXthaPlug is, what he's gone through, how he's done come up in the industry. It's a lot of good stuff going on, man. He's doing some good rapping. Now, is he going to win a Grammy for his rapping? No, he's not. But he wasn't in the freshman class for no reason. BigXthaPlug has been consistent with all of his albums. He's done a lot of great shit. I actually talked about his compilation album he dropped earlier this year called Meet the Sixers, which I can't wait till his other rappers on his label drop. But this album was great, bro. Like, it was a great listen. I'm glad he didn't drag it out. 15 tracks was way, that was enough. That was enough for me. And Big X teaming up with Tony Cole, they are such a great duo together. I think Tony Cole knows exactly what type of soul samples to get to make Big X sound so good on a lot of those songs. The production is very clean on here as well. And I just like the fact that they just pick these random soul samples. I ain't gonna say random, but they specifically pick soul samples to give you a feeling. Or, you know what I'm saying? There's certain songs that you just get a feeling, be like, oh shit, that's such and such. Oh shit, that's this. They do that a lot on this album, but BigXthaPlug is a strong enough lyricist to be able to back up the production. Sometimes on albums, man, you get artists who can't rap to the level of production that they have. But Tony Cole just knows how to work with Big X, and I love the fact that they are a great duo. I hope they continue to work together throughout his career because that shit is fire. A lot of this album just really is about what Big X had to do to get here, and I can't be mad. If I'm not mistaken, he's independent. I think he has a deal through United Masters, which is still him being independent. But man, shout out to BigXthaPlug, man. He just doesn't miss, and I really enjoyed this album. Go out and listen to BigXthaPlug. Take Care. Finally, I had to go listen to this album. GloRilla is one of the biggest female hip hop artists that's out this year. She's been consistent. Now, if you watched my MVPs of 2024, you would see that I had her as an honorable mention, and I couldn't give her any kind of credit or put her on the list for real until I actually heard the project. So she just dropped her new project, Glorious, 15 tracks, 42 minutes long. I gotta be honest, I like the fact that she gave us a variety of different types of songs. We got gospel on here. She got a gospel song with Kurt Franklin. Come on, y'all. Kurt Franklin. Most rappers would be scared to do something like that. It's a true give it to God song. Wait, I gotta find the song, bro. The name of the song, Rain Down on Me. That is a true gospel hip hop song, and I loved it. She's at the point in her career where she can experiment with different stuff. Now, if you've been watching me since episode 1, you know I talked about Everything Is Everything, and I enjoyed that mixtape. Everything Is Everything gave you that Memphis hip hop feel. This is way more well-rounded than Everything Is Everything. She gives you a lot of stuff. you get shit that's turned. Where you know what I'm saying? Like you get the turnt music, you get gospel on here, you get a early 2000s feel on this album as well with a couple of these songs. You do get that mission feel with a couple of these songs as well. Like it's a variety of different stuff that they gave to her, and she actually completed it. Yeah, she even gave you a song. What's the name of the song? The song with Money Long on here. Don't Deserve. She even gave us a song about domestic abuse. What the fuck? She showed that she's very well rounded when it comes to being able to put an album together, which I think was great. I really enjoyed it. It's a nice listen. This is the cleanest and nicest production I've heard GloRilla have ever. You know what I'm saying? Like Yo Gotti did some of the producing on here, but I think Yo Gotti had a lot to do with some of the producers that are on here or who has produced a lot of the songs that were on this album. The problem I do have with this album is, and I don't know if she has writers or I don't know who's writing for her or she writes everything on her own, but there are times when some of her bars can get a little too complicated for what she can deliver, if that makes sense. Like her delivery is not as good as some of the writing is giving her. That might sound odd, but whoever, if it's her writing it, then she needs to kind of make it a little bit more simplistic. But there were times on here where it felt like she got caught up with trying to get the lyrics out and the delivery just didn't hit like it was supposed to. And that was probably one of my biggest gripes with the album. Like she's on here rapping and she's doing a lot of women empowerment rapping on here, which I think was dope as fuck. She's actually doing like a real woman empowerment album and not some of that fake bullshit that some of these other people have been doing. She does do some braggadocious rapping on here. She does talk about how good the pussy is, so on and so forth. But some of the writing on here is a little too complicated for what she can give in the delivery side. Other than that, great album. Is it worthy of being top 10 of this year? I'm not going to say yes because I need to go through this album a little bit more. But I think she gets discredited a little bit too much because of the Lottos and because of the Meg Thee Stallions and like if you go back and look at what she's done this year, GloRilla has had a very solid year and people don't really give her credit for that. Some people are celebrating it, some people aren't. But you think about the tour, you think about everything that came out, you think about this album that dropped, you think about all of the features she's done. She's been on point with everything. And I got to give her credit. I got to give somebody else credit on here. The song How I Look with Meg Thee Stallion. Meg Thee Stallion can fucking rap. She can rap, bruh. And I miss that about Meg. I am a fan. I'm a Tina Snow fan. Like, I love that Tina Snow album. And that was some of the best rapping that Meg has done. I know Cobra came out, and she had some songs here and there where she was rapping her ass off. But Meg, come back to the real rap side of shit, for real. Like, go back to that Meg that was freestyling at South by Southwest. Like, give us that Meg again. I miss that part of Meg. She went crazy on that song, and I love her verse on there. I just wish she would do it more often. But all in all, man, very solid project from GloRilla. I think it's everything that she needed it to be to prove that she is one of the best out. This album reminds me, and I'm not saying it's the same, but it reminds me when Cardi had first started. Because everybody loved Cardi and her personality and who she was. And if you haven't been watching GloRilla and her promo run that she's been doing here recently, people love that girl. They love her, and they love her interviews, and they just love the fact that she is who she is. And I like that. When you take that and you stack it on top of getting great music from her, because she actually put out some really great music this year, she can be a winner, and she can actually kind of go far in this rap game if they continue to put money into it and push her in a different way that's not all have to be all about sex all the time. Like, she's pretty good. But if you haven't listened to it, go out and listen to GloRilla's new album, Glorious. It's on your DSPs.
Music news.
All right, so this week I actually put out a reaction / breakdown of the newest J. Cole song, Port Antonio. Go check that out if you haven't checked it out yet. I kind of get a little bit deep into like what some of the bars mean. I went back and looked at that video. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm gonna do better when it comes to that. That's all I want to say about that. But the backlash that J. Cole has gotten from him dropping this song is ridiculous, bro. Like, there are a lot of hip hop talking heads like Joe Budden or Wayno, shout out to Wayno, that just didn't like the fact that he said, "Hey Drake, we're still cool. We have a relationship with each other." Or people don't like the fact that he's speaking in hindsight about how he could have won. Y'all are fucking stupid. Period. Why is it so bad when somebody gets out and puts a song out that says, "Yo, I want to be cool with both these people. And these are people who I have relationships with, and these are people that I rock with, and I don't want to get messy." And I know he's speaking from hindsight. Shout out to Hakeem from Deciphering Media. We had a great conversation on Instagram the other day about this. Yes, he's speaking from hindsight. Yes, he was the first person to put out a song, and then he erased it, and he apologized to Kendrick. But why is it so hard to think that J. Cole wants to keep a relationship with Kendrick and Drake? Like, why is that so hard? And why is it kicking y'all in the ass so much that he wants to speak on being the best? Well, he didn't get into the battle. Who gives a fuck? Who cares? There's a lot of people that's not rapping on J. Cole's level. It's not many. And I think you guys are going through these old school hip hop rules of just like, well, you gotta turn your back on your homeboy if you want to be the best. Or maybe you could just say, "I'm still the best." And a lot of people have the opinion of, well, if he just put out great music, then he wouldn't have to worry about it. He should have never apologized to either one of the people. He should have just put out great music and pushed through, and that would have shown how great he was. And I say that's cap. You niggas don't respect good music. A lot of you hip hop fans don't respect the type of music that people put out. You know what y'all really respect? Y'all respect when niggas tear each other down and talk down about each other and put out the tea. Y'all are fucking disgusting. It's terrible. If this was a real rap battle, I'm personally saying that J. Cole would have had a chance. If niggas wouldn't have got personal, I'm not saying he would have won, but I'm not saying he would have lost either. J. Cole can get in his bag when he wants to. The problem I have with all of these hip hop talking heads is they're speaking on shit which, if it happened to them, they would be butthurt and they would be sad about somebody turning their back on them or you not being loyal and you not picking a side. If somebody would have did them like that, it would have been completely a different conversation. I feel like the backlash that J. Cole is getting from him putting out this type of song is ridiculous. It's a fucking song. He has an album that needs to drop, and I feel like he's clearing the way to be able to put out the type of music he wants to put out. Again, he said, "Hey, y'all strip me of my spot. I'm free. I can do what I want to do." Even if that means him saying, "Yo, I'm still one of the best out here and ain't no other niggas rapping like me." Okay, let's see what you got. And let's see what type of album you're going to put out. But I've been saying this the whole time. The fall off is going to be J. Cole's last album as a full-time rapper. He's going to start going into handling what happens in Dreamville a lot more. He might be doing features only for a little while. He may put out a little bit of an EP or something here and there, but all of this bullshit surrounding him saying what he said and wanting to keep relationships and people being mad about him wanting to keep relationships is just kind of ridiculous to me. If he's really cool with these people, because we don't know what happens in behind the scenes with these dudes, to be honest. And how do we know that? How do we know if he didn't have a conversation with somebody from Kendrick's camp that said this is going to get ugly, so be prepared. We don't know that. It's a lot of unknown knowns or known unknowns hanging around this whole thing. But I think it's kind of stupid that we got a whole bunch of fucking hip hop talking heads that just feel like J. Cole should shut the fuck up and not be able to say what he wants to say in his raps. Just because he didn't get into the battle. Now, I'm not going to lie. I do not like the fact that he said his brothers went to war and he came out with blood on him. But because he didn't battle, he can't say those things. But at the end of the day, who rapping like him? Why can't we just appreciate the artist? Why can't we appreciate the art of somebody actually knowing the craft, doing what they're supposed to do, and putting out great music? I'm anticipating the fall off. I'm going to say it again because I said it during the reaction. I really feel like this song sets up him and Kendrick having a song on that album. I would not be shocked if Kendrick shows up on that album and they do a song together. Not one bit. But the fact that you guys are sitting up here in your feelings about somebody trying to keep a relationship with people who came up with it, we don't know what Drake did for this man. But the same people who are talking this shit would be fucking pissed if somebody turned their back on them and, after you sat at the table with me and I gave you money or I did this for you, you gonna bro, keeping friendships and relationships in this game is something that helps you as an artist and helps you move forward. I don't think he was kissing Drake's ass. I just say, hey, bro, we're good. They're telling you that I'm picking sides, and that's not the case at all. And if we're being honest with each other, Drake is a bit of a, I don't know, emotional type nigga. He's been emotional about this shit ever since it went down. Now, you may think people have talked to J. Cole and told him, hey, man, you might need to just kind of put it in the song so Drake will really know that y'all are cool. I don't feel that way. I feel like I've always said J. Cole is a man of the people. He's always been a man of the people. And I think this is just showing that I'm in good graces with y'all. I am slick telling y'all, though, for real, if it came down to rapping and not putting out personal information, y'all niggas might have lost. And I don't think that's far-fetched. Tell me what you think, man. Do you think that I'm crazy? Do you think that I'm not really understanding what's happening with this song? Tell me in the comments what you think. Do you think J. Cole really was kissing people's ass? Or do you think it was just one of those, it was an honest gesture of trying to keep a relationship? All right, last thing, and then we're going to get out of here. Ari Lennox has said that she's going to step away from social media, like permanently. She had a post on her Instagram, a very long post. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'll post it up here. But one of the things she said was, to all my beautiful fans, I'm just not happy or thriving here. I have a very toxic and codependent relationship with these apps. My happiness is worth more to me than just using these platforms to promote. I truly believe I can get creative with marketing elsewhere. I'm so exhausted in my addiction to the internet and gossip and attention and validation and yearning to be in control and oversharing. I just want to be free and complete. That was just a piece of what she said. She had a very long, I'm not going to say rant, but just a long explanation of why she's leaving social media. And to be honest with you, I'm not mad at that at all. I'm going to be the first person to say I hate Instagram. I think Instagram is terrible. I think they're terrible to creators. I think they're terrible to specific artists. I just think you can't move and thrive on there because the algorithm sucks so bad, or people in general just suck. But I understand. The thing about newer celebrities or celebrities now on this generation, it really seems like they can't maneuver the way they want to without something blowing up on a blog or something showing up in these fucking trashy ass hip hop websites or hip hop media Instagrams and shit like that. To some people, it'll look like being off of social media or off of Instagram will be a death sentence to her career. But I feel like if she can find a new way, which I think she listed going to her website and being a part of her email list, that we can keep up with her that way. But your mental health is way much more important. And I'm not just saying that because it's the cool thing to say. It's the truth. I find myself getting on social media sometimes and falling under the same trap of just like comparing myself, what I'm doing. These people are like making it way faster than I am. I should be in that position. Like mentally, it could be tiring. It can be depressing. It could just, it hurts sometimes. So I get it, bro. Like if that's what she feels like she needs to do to be a better person in life, then we should be applauding this a whole lot more. Now, she did get a lot of supportive comments, but she did get a lot of comments just dogging her out. And those types of comments are the main reason why social media is just a horrible place, and it's not where you can thrive at in a lot of situations. Unless you're the top tier, upper echelon type of artist, you can't really move the way you need to move. And people feel so familiar with you, and they say such a shitty things that you have to get away from that shit. And then there's artists that kind of go back and forth. Cardi B is one of the people that I most definitely want to bring up with that. Cardi B is one of those people where she goes back and forth, but I look at Cardi as such a big star, such a major star. She shouldn't have to go back and forth. You've made it to where you need to make it to. Why are you going back and forth with people who ain't even on your level or even make the kind of money you make or even in your career? It's just sad to see that somebody has to permanently get away from social media because we as fans or as followers or as supporters have gotten to the point we just feel like we know these people from pictures, from things that other blogs say, and from bullshit media. We don't know these people. That's one thing that I've learned, especially doing YouTube and especially doing the type of content that I do. I don't know y'all, and y'all don't know me. And so at the end of the day, whatever I have to do to keep myself mentally stable, I'm going to do it, which means if I don't get on social media to show my personal life, that's my decision because I don't want to be scrutinized for things that I want to do or how I live. If I don't want to go back and forth in the comments about things that people say, I'm not going to do it. And me being a small content creator, I can't go without having Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter because that's where you have to cultivate a community and audience and so on and so forth. But there are certain things that you guys aren't privy to just for the simple fact that it's like I want to be able to live my life and move the way I want to move. So again, I think Ari Lennox permanently departing from social media is a great thing. I think more artists should take a break from social media and they wouldn't be so stressed out, and we would probably get way better music and way better things from these artists if they would do that more often. I think a lot of the art suffers because they're always on social media doing God knows what or trying to show people how life is going, when in all honesty, taking a break from talking back and forth with people who don't really give a fuck about you could just make your music a whole lot better. So I wanted to bring that up because I know how you feel, Ari Lennox. I'm praying for you, and I hope you get better in what's going on in your life. But I do feel like these artists should take more breaks from social media and stop listening to the internet. The internet ain't doing nothing but criticizing, joking, and low-key trolling everything that we do. There's hardly anybody who's really serious about what they want to talk about, and a lot of people are super jealous because they not doing what you doing. So salute to Ari Lennox, and I hope you feel a whole lot better. I think she said I think her countdown just started, and I think she'll be off of social media in December. So cheers to you. That's it. That's all I got, guys. I hope you guys had a great week. Have a great week. Enjoy the episode. If you want to catch me, you can always catch me right here on YouTube. Just subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the B1K Media YouTube channel. You'll get content like this and extra videos. And if you want to get super bonus content like the Hip Hop Survival Guide that I do, that's on my Patreon. On top of any extra content, it shows up on Patreon first before it shows up here. It's $1 a month if you want to be a hip hop socialite like so many other people. But that's where you get the bonus content. So with that being said, man, thank you guys. Join me for another episode next time, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.
Thank you for joining the STEM Society.